All right. So after that, after the conversation, in fact, it is interrupted by Zoe knocking on the behemoth, asking for Max very politely that they still have to get some of their vehicles fixed up, or just some tune-ups before they head out in the next day or two. And his
And
break
we're
is
gonna
over.
do the just one more minute, and it's gonna be 30 minutes later.
Okay, fair enough. Zoe, is patient, but she doesn't look impressed, we'll say. But she doesn't wait the entire time. If he heads out there in like 30 minutes to do what he wants, you can just assume that's fine by him, or maybe he'll work later into the night or something like that to make up for the time. But that's something between Max and Zoe that you guys wouldn't be privy to. But
I it
mhm.
it would probably be one of those things where like you had like a play date and the parent comes home like we gotta get the kid back and it's like 1 more minute.
Just 1 minute, yeah, equivalent of that. That's cool. That's very cool. All right.
I would also at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the conversation
Mm-hmm.
tell him I found this in the junkyard and you might want to check around that a bit more because I don't think they've really uh, got everything out that would be important in this place. I
He
don't think they.
goes. It's like I've been there a few times already. I don't know if I'm gonna have much time. Zoe's already expecting a lot from me, but if I have, a few extra minutes here or there, I might do that. Thanks, Patrick.
And that'll be it.
All right. So, that's that. Um, so we got Mila's dress out of the way. We did the Max thing. All right. Let's do your bit of shopping there, Al and
Yeah,
Patrick, and
shopping.
whoever else might want to come along. Um,
Tom will go.
okay, fair enough. All right, cool.
What are they shopping for?
Something magical.
Pass.
All right,
Gonna go climb a tree.
all
No,
right,
no, 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 no. Something magical.
Already climbing the tree.
No,
all right,
See, you're not doing the jazz hands correctly. God.
I tried.
all right. So, the locals, when you ask around, just real quick, I mentioned this in my summary sheet, but although there are many places to purchase such magical items, the locals do first direct you towards a company called New Zoot Incorporated. So it's up to you guys whether you want to or not. Uh, New Zoot is a simple timber building that is painted completely black with bright fluorescent neon green signage. Um, so it is definitely striking in looks, but it's up to you guys whether you want to actually head inside of New Zoot.
What kind of things they usually sell there?
Um, the locals, when you ask, the locals give a little bit of a smile and they say, "Oh, he's a techno wizard of some kind. So, magic, technology, a blend of the two. He has a lot of stuff in there, though."
Okay, thank
And
you.
they give another little smirk. No problem.
And I guess Al would say, let's try over there.
Okay, doke.
And Patrick will, of course, tag along.
As will Tom, by the sounds of it.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, uh, there's no windows in New Zoot. And when you enter, okay, so there's no actual door of New Zoot either. Even from the entranceway, it's just a series of beads, of these glowy little beads on a string that just hang down from the door frame that you have to push aside to get through. And as you push aside the beams, it makes this little tingy jingling noise, almost like a wind chime, although they're not striking anything. It's just what happens when you push the little bead itself. And inside is, well, it would be rather dark, except that there are these fluorescent lights that are just surrounding each wall. It's a band of three big, thick, purple lights that are just radiating light and filling the entire place up in this strange purpley glow. And from behind a jet black countertop, you are also, by the way, the only people in this store. As the proprietor looks to you rather excitedly. The proprietor is not human. He is humanoid. He is clearly a D-bead. He's completely green. He's average height. You would estimate probably around 5'10" or so. Very slender build, and he's wearing this very strange mauve velvety like vest and pants. It's almost like a pantsuit. It's very, very peculiar. But his face is kind of bulbousy, very, very smooth. He has these strange strands, which you're assuming are hair, kind of just pour out from his skull in every which way. He has almost no nose, just two small slits in between the center of his head. His mouth is kind of droopy and dangly. Think of like, what are those things from Star Wars there? You know what Greedo was?
Yeah.
You know how his mouth, it's kind of just this tubey, flappy thing?
Rhodians, yeah.
Mm.
Rhodians, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he has like a Rhodian mouth, although the rest of him doesn't look like a Rhodian. And his eyes are almond-shaped. And when he blinks, instead of, the eyelids going from top to the bottom of your eye, it's going from the left to the right. And he looks over to you and goes, Zoot! Zoot! New Zoot! Enter, little gorillas, for picnics time now, yes?
Oh, I wish I would have gone.
You can retroactively say you went.
No, that's okay. That's
retroactively say
okay.
you went.
That's okay. Mila would not be interested in this.
Okay.
Al sits there and thinks Mila would probably be interested.
And as you peer around through this complete purpley glow, it's very unassuming. This fellow, he has everything out on shelves, but there's no, it's like a countertop with like 3 things on it with like price tags sticking out. But it's not a special display. It's not on a series of shelves. It's like he just threw some stuff on a countertop and put prices on it. Now, the countertops line the entire sides, all 4 sides of this building. And there's probably, you're thinking maybe about 30 or so items there. But he points over to some of them and he goes, little fishes love bubble time. New Zoot, and he starts gesturing you over to one of the countertops where he has a few items. One of them looks like a small glowing ball. The other one is a long, thin piece of metal that just looks very, very unassuming. And the other one is a glove. It looks like it's a leather glove, but it has all these strange wires going from the tips of the fingers towards the wrist of the glove itself. These kind of gold wires. And he goes, Zoot, Zoot, as he gestures over for you.
Which one? All of us?
Yeah, all of you. You're assuming he's gesturing to the group of you that entered rather
Okay.
excitedly.
Patrick would walk forward
Same
probably first.
Yeah,
Al would be
I
with
will
him,
as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And he takes up this small little glowing ball and he goes, Mysticism. Mysticism. Picnic time, very happy, talky talk, yes. And he throws the globe up into the air, and it explodes in fragments of dust as this gold dust starts to fall upon you. And doing so, as soon as the little fragments of dust fall upon your bodies, it starts to glow brighter and brighter and brighter until you're almost surrounded by a dozen tiny lights. And he claps his hands and he goes, up, up, now, come. And all of a sudden, the dust starts to lift itself off of you back towards his hand as it starts to reincorporate in front of this ball. And he takes out the little price tag that comes with it, and he thrusts it towards you, and you see that the price tag says, it says 5,000 and then a symbol for universal credits, but it has something additional. It also says plus, and then it has a gesture of an ice cream cone.
What? I love
And
this
he
guy.
goes,
This guy is
"Dude."
great. Oh, jeez.
Does it just look like an ice cream cone, or is it like detailed
It's a
enough
picture.
that...
Well, he looks like he drew. Someone drew a picture of an ice cream, like next to the price.
Okay. Al would look a bit confused, and then, nope, still looking confused.
Okay.
Patrick will actually go curious and then like walk out of the door
What?
to go get some ice cream.
Oh, okay. Not with the ball though. Okay. All right.
No.
No,
All right.
I think Al would say, he'd like sigh, and then he'd go really happy. Gorilla picnic, love. What globe do?
And Tom will have the most. He is amazed. He has a serious amazed face on right now.
Okay. Fair enough. And what? The second you say that, Al, he goes, "Yes, little gorilla picnic time," and he says, he's trying to find the words for it. He goes, "Puff of dust." Puff of dust everywhere on gorillas. Glowy, see all time. Yes, picnic time. Picnic time, he says.
Al gets
love this guy.
Al gets an understanding look, and says, puff dust, gorilla glow all time.
All time, yes. And he
Uh,
gives you like, okay, and so he moves towards you very sharply,
Mhm.
and he pats your left shoulder, he pats your right shoulder, and he pats the top of your head. And he goes, gorilla picnic, yes.
And Al nods and then points back to it and says, anytime? Sometime?
All time, he says. All time, eye of the tiger, all time.
Al nods as if he understands.
Okay.
Little do
Ow.
you know, you've just agreed to sex.
Al, do you know what he's trying to say?
I think he's saying that we use the globe to burst into powder, and whatever the powder covers, we can see in dark or maybe different spectrums, but we can see better than we could before.
Oh. What about that picnic stuff?
Al shrugs.
Okay.
Al looks back to Zoot.
His name's just Zoot.
Oh, Zoot.
Well,
Uh,
he said, no, actually, you don't know what his name is. He
Oh.
just keeps saying the word Zoot.
Al will look back and he'll think carefully before he speaks, and then he says, "Gorilla," and points to himself. "Little gorilla, weak, want be protected."
He kind of scrunches his almond's eyes a little bit, turns to the side, and you know that look that people give, like they have no idea what you're talking about, but they're trying to be polite? He's giving you that look, but he goes, ah.
Al, oh god,
Sometimes play new Zoot now here, Zoot. And he starts pointing towards the little silver piece of metal.
Can Al,
And he picks it up. Oh, sorry, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say Al's gonna, like, when he thinks he doesn't understand, Al's going to mimic like laser gun and go pew pew, and then like point to himself and go bing, like bounce off.
Oh, okay. Wait, he looks at you again, and he spins his fingers towards you, as in like a do it again motion,
Mm-hmm.
as he says, "Sofa love, lampshade all the time." And he gestures. He makes that gesture towards you. Sofa love. Sofa love, he says.
Al nods.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I wish I was there.
Al
You
nods.
can arrive soon enough with ice cream, and he just stares at you for a little moment, and he looks over to you, Tom. He goes, "Sofa loves. Why no? Silly lampshade, this gorilla. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes." He says, "Yes." So, and he pauses for a moment. He picks up that little silver thing and he goes, "Hmm. Sometimes leaves fall heavy, so no mad scared time now." And he points the little the piece of metal towards you, Tom, and he starts to point it towards your chest, and he's moving it closer and closer, and soon that little metal bit will hit the center of your chest. Will you let it happen?
Can Al say something?
Sure, of course. He's not doing
I'm
it
yeah,
super
back off.
fast.
Tom, I think
Yeah.
he's saying that he's about to try something. Don't get upset.
Okay. All right. I'll stand there.
Nuts. All right. And as the thing contacts your chest, I would like you to make a saving throw versus magic, please.
Shit. Okay.
It's okay.
Versus magic.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. 12.
Okay, so that is a fail.
Yep.
So it presses up against you, and you don't feel anything any different. And he looks over at you expectedly.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And then he says, "Mouth noises. Mouth noises."
Talk, Tom. Talk.
Hi.
Okay, and the second you say the word hi, instead what happens is that when you speak, it makes flatulent sounds.
I think Al actually laughs.
And Newzoot starts to laugh as well, but his laugh is very tinny and high. And he says, "No worry, leaves only fall sometimey time. You know, Speaky, talky talk, hold." And then he pushes the silver bar against you again. And do you let that happen?
Yeah.
Okay. And you just a small little whoop, jolt is felt, and he says, "Mouth noises."
Okay. Hello.
And now when you talk, it's a lion's roar.
Oh. Okay. Awesome.
And what Newzoot says next is he gestures to his head, and then to the to the bar, and he says, "Noise, think, gorilla, speak mouth noise." Yes, Zoot, new Zoot, yes.
Al nods and says, "Oh."
And then he pauses for a moment, and he says,
When he pauses,
Actually, he doesn't say anything. He just. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, Al will look to Tom and say, "Tom, think of an animal, any animal, and then try and talk."
Okay. Huh. I am going to think of a chipmunk. I'm thinking of Jackie right now.
Okay.
And then I will try and talk, say hi.
It's still a roar, a lion's roar.
Okay.
And Newzoot pokes you again with the little metal bar, and when you speak again, it's once again your own voice.
Huh. This is weird. I didn't even know what's going on.
Yes, welcome to New Zoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes
Patrick
noise.
will be here with ice cream.
Okay. And he looks over to the ice cream and goes, "Oh, new Zoot! New Zoot!" And he grabs the little orb and he takes out his little credit chip thing from his countertop and he moves over towards you and he thrusts his cred chip towards you and he goes, "Zoot, Zoot. Happy picnic."
um,
And when Patrick gets
Patrick
in,
will then say just interesting again, and then probably use 5,000 credits and exchange the ice cream with the orb.
Oh, wonderful. And he hands you over the orb with the ice cream. And for the next few minutes, New Zoot isn't talking anymore because he is eating the ice cream with his little Greedo-like mandible as he just like submerges it over the ice cream itself. And slowly the comb pokes up into his mouth as he munches on it. As he placed down that metal rod, you can see the price tag on that one reads 7,500 universal credits, and the plus, and now it's a picture of it looks like his head, and then someone kissing the forehead on it.
Okay.
So a gesture of someone kissing New Zoot's forehead.
Al would tell Patrick that he thinks the orb that Patrick's holding, if he understands right, means that when you use it, whoever gets covered in the dust can see more, whether that be in the dark or more spectrums, he's not sure, but you can see better. And he points to the silver bar and says, apparently, if you touch someone with this, they make animal noises. Or fart.
So unlucky that Patrick was not there for the whole thing. Because he's gonna have to believe him on that one.
Okay.
And though he's not really going to believe him on this particular orb, I believe he saw that the orb, like the shards, actually lit up, not his sight. Was that it?
Yeah, you saw the pieces of dust light up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's yours now.
I just need to make sure that I get the right words to use this.
You will have to ask Zoot or remember what he did.
What he said. So,
Or you can also do a check on your own.
well, let's see. This is magical, and according to this, is supposed to be also a techno wizard. So, excuse me. I'm not quite sure exactly if I have a check on that.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll figure that out. At this point right now, New Zoot is happily finishing his ice cream and heading over to the little glove that he showed you before. And he gestures all to join you again. Picnic time's
Yes.
still going, Gorilla Men.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and he takes the glove itself, and he puts it's a 5-finger glove, and he himself has 5 fingers, and he puts it over his left hand, and he pauses for a second. He says, "New leaves might burn," and he pauses for a moment and says, he looks over to you and he says in a secretive tone, "Gorillas whisper always?"
And Patrick will nod.
Good. And he pauses for a second, and he goes to the other end of his store, along more of his display things, and he picks up a very unassuming charm. It's on a very light silver necklace, and he picks it up in his other hand, his non-gloved hand, and he looks over to you, and he looks like he's in thought, and he asks, "Which fan shall air blow?"
Patrick will raise his hand.
Okay. And New Zoot will go over to you, and he'll give you the little charm necklace. He'll thrust it towards your hands.
And I will take it with my one free hand.
Okay. And as you grab it, you notice that, yeah, sure enough, it looks like the actual chain itself is made of silver, and the icon is just a very small tab, maybe an inch long and wide in an oval pattern, and it has some very strange, very alien writing on it. You do not recognize the language. It is definitely not Draconic, nor is it American.
Common.
Yeah. But he, Zoot looks over to you and he says, looks at you expectantly, and he says, oh, gorilla sometimes table no put on, yes? So he actually grabs the medallion from you one more time, and he goes over behind you, and around the crown of your head he attaches the little necklace. So now that little charm thing is hanging from like your forehead,
Okay.
if you understand. And he pauses for a moment. He takes 1, 2, 3 steps back. He still has the glove, and he looks over to both Al and Tom, and he says, "Leaves get sparkly."
Al, will put a hand on Tom's shoulder and start backing up.
And he gives a little excited little nod, and he goes, "Ah, na, na, na." And with that, he pauses for a moment, and he yells, "Yip, yip!" And with that, all of a sudden, a bolt of electricity slams from the palm of his hand into Patrick. Thankfully, Patrick, make a balance check.
Is that a 20 or 100?
D100. It's a skill. 55. So I don't think you have any sort of acrobatic skill, do you?
I will fall over because
Okay.
I am unexpected of this.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so Patrick falls on his ass and skids a couple feet. But thankfully, as the second you would have noticed, Al and Tom, the second that medallion, the second the electricity hit Patrick's form, the medallion flashed, and a very brief purple light surrounded Patrick milliseconds before that beam hit him. With that, Zoot says happily, Gorillas with billy clubs, they whisper secret. Zoot?
And Patrick will get up and slowly. Did I see the pink flash, or is that something?
You would have, yeah. We'll say the brief purple flash flashed in front of your eyes. You know that the force of something like that, it should have really probably hurt you unless the actual spell itself was an illusion. But it didn't feel like an illusion. It felt like he hit you with a goddamn lightning bolt. And whatever he put on your head probably stopped that.
Al will go to
Alright.
Patrick and try and help him up and say, "Are you okay?"
Well, surprised, but generally positive, yes.
Out of curiosity, does Al have any trouble grabbing Patrick's hand and pulling him up?
No, not at all. No.
Alright.
Your hand meets his. There's no barrier between it.
And Patrick will get the necklace from the top of his head, and wander over to him,
Shopkeeper.
shopkeeper,
Zoot.
and